fall behind in CS a little bit. But like I said, V3's early game has been actually pretty decent in a lot of their matches. You know, last week or not. Is it last week? Yeah, it's on Sunday. You know, against Burning Core, V3 was actually going toe to toe in the early game perfectly fine. You know, last week Friday as well against SoftBank Hawks. They looked fine for the most part in the lane. So I think Dresco and Hedo, fine in lane. My bigger question is what happens in the bigger fights, because that's where Soul has really been popping off.
All right, well, get out your stopwatches because the game has begun, ladies and gentlemen. If V3 has a hero, we need to see it come out now because this game is getting underway here. Once again, your usual kind of 5-man lineup, right? Nothing too. I'm a little surprised. Nothing too aggressive coming out this time around. I feel like normally we see a lot more aggression coming out in these kind of early stages of the game, especially if you want to speed run. This would definitely be the time to pick up that first kill and just destroy the mental.
Yeah, but it's Rascal Jesters.
Yeah, that's true. That's
even CFM. Maybe we see the invade. You know, it was Burning Core. I think we see like at least a 3-man rush to the bot side, but it's Rascal Jesters. They don't play hyper aggro, right? Like even this much aggression actually surprises me, and I think they'll still play to that power point. So they'll play probably a little bit more patient, and then I'm expecting, you know, around the 15-minute mark, that's when all hell is going to really break loose. Or maybe at the objectives, we might see some action happening already. But again, Rascal Jester is not a team to take too many risks.
Yeah, definitely. Like we were saying, they like to play a lot more slow. And so we're going to have to see, okay, already level 1, though. Bit of an engage coming out, but I don't know if that was the move. Secret needs to be careful here. Getting taken pretty low already, but Secret does not care, bro. He's just still clearing these bushes. He wants that early kind of bush dominance, dare I say. He's trying to get that information inequality.
Yeah, and you should be doing that, right? The Nautilus Leona at level 1, that's fairly even, but Xayah Kaisa is not. Xayah at level 1 is actually really weak because a lot of your damage tends to come from that blade call, but you need another ability to proc those feathers in the first place. So it's only really level 2 you can start to do anything as that Xayah. If not, you're just kind of poking with your Q. It doesn't match in the all-ins there. So great play from Secret and Soul to recognize that and get that lane dominance already here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious if maybe we get to see once again a Yu-Gi-Oh with that, like we saw with that 36 HP Baron Steel last week. Gotta be so nice if we get to see something like that again. That was absolutely insane to say the least. But we'll have to wait and see. We do see Hachimecha is slowly pathing, actually seems down. Yeah, going to be pathing down to this bot lane. And same deal here with Unica, who is going to be there slightly sooner, it seems, actually opting to skip the red buff instead to head on down while the wave state is like, so, oh no, never mind, he's going to take it. Yeah, okay, he's going to take it. But yeah, I got a little beta there, I'm not going to lie. But hopefully we will see something kind of pop out from that pretty soon.
Interesting pathing actually from Unica to do that. I understand. I was thinking, are we going to see an early gank? I would like to see it. Unfortunately not. Whereas Hachimecha, full clear, did the Krugs as well. So obviously Hachimecha not really looking to gank for now, trying to hit that level 6 as soon as possible. And I think that kind of matches up to our expectations here. I think the Viego is a lot more deadly when you have that Heartbreaker available to use for now. Actually going to come down and pick up that Scuttle early though. And we did see the caution pings come out, so I think they did catch that on that very interestingly placed ward for the side of V3, just barely in the river.
Yeah, just barely able to spot him out, but that's exactly what you need, right? Even though it's more of a kind of slow team, Rascal Jester, and you know that they're not going to try and do too much in that early game. It's always, you know, you don't want to give out anything for free here, and actually going to get that double scuttle as Unica did decide to head back, grab those boots early, and now Hachimecha will follow suit. You on that top lane, bit of training going on. Actually, Hachimecha looking to maybe get a little bit of invade off here. Gonna have to see. Meanwhile, on that bot lane though, Hatel is incredibly low. The ignite did come out. He actually decides to send it back in. It's not quite gonna be worth it. Okay, he will go 1 for 1 actually. First blood will still go into the hands of Soul, but will go 1 for 1. So it's not all for naught.
Yeah, so yes, you do give up first blood. There's extra gold on that, but I think for dress code, the experience advantage is going to be good, right? That the fact that your AD carry survived when the enemy AD carry didn't. And this is why I said V3's early game actually isn't that bad. Hetel, yes, made the mistake of that information inequality, walking up to a bush where you had no vision
That's
of
my new
against the
favorite
Leona.
word, bro. That's my new favorite term, man. I swear, dude. I'm waiting for the moment I get to just scream it at the top of my lungs when they walk into like a 5-man stack in the butt. Information inequality. But
Yeah,
we'll have to wait.
So yes, you had information inequality in that you didn't have vision, but at the same time, like you gotta assume that Leona's in the bush, right?
Yeah.
Like Soul is stepping up so aggressively. Secret has to be right there. And I think Hetzel just not respecting that, but the turnaround play after that, recognizing that, hey, yeah, I'm dead. We might as well turn this. Well played from them instead. Unica, okay, you're being a little cheeky. I guess you've got nothing better to do. Your camp's just spawned, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. And now battle of the supports for superiority. Hetzel just going to show him that he can land his hooks, get a little bit of damage in. And yeah, Unica being a little cheeky. Now the first drag is on the map. And already we're seeing both teams kind of slowly but surely converging into this river, trying to establish some dominance of it. We see that Soul and Secret actually roaming into the jungle here. Maybe they're going to be able to catch out Unica. Nah, they're not going to risk it.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually could kill Unica at this point. I'm not sure if they have enough damage. I mean, the serrated dirk is picked up for Soul there, which is a nice little bit of damage burst. It's slightly better, I think, than that Noon Quiver in these fights, especially in the early game here. But I don't know if it's enough yet. And I think the call from Rascal Jesters, like we said, is just don't take risks. Don't fight this, right? Keep power farming. Hachamecha is almost 6. Recap is 6, and so is Ino here. And, you know, once that top side hits 6, then we start maybe seeing some aggression. Hetzel,
yeah, some aggression indeed. Looking again onto Secret here. It's going to go ahead and pop that shield. Is pretty tanky, so nothing quite going to come out of that. Hetzel, I feel like that Hex Flash, he thought for sure he'd get a little more range out of it. Unfortunately, nothing really going to come out of that, but they will go ahead and start up this dragon here. I'm not sure if they spotted out Hachamecha in that top lane, but if they did, then they know for sure that there will be no jungle contest. And now Recap actually stepped out into a terrible spot, incredibly low, but able to dash out with the ultimate. Close call, to say the least. And now the tides have been turned. Hachamecha is there trying to get this dragon, are going to get that smite down, but at what cost? First member is going to go down, going to grab that reset. Unica incredibly low, will still go down in Secret. No way. That's 3 members for V3 down. You get the drag, but at what cost?
Gotta be honest here, Echo. I thought Recap was a really bad decision to walk up there, but turns out Rascal Jester knew better. They were just trying to make sure that they had the vision because they didn't have any wards there. They needed to know what the status of that dragon was, and great choice by them as well. They didn't even go for the 50-50 dragon. Hachamecha was just right away saying, okay, forget the dragon. We want kills here. And look at the vision control right now, right? There is that pink ward, and that's what allowed that good catch onto Recap. But because they then came out, it bought enough time. Rascal Jesters could come in here and watch Hachamecha, because Hachamecha doesn't go for the 50-50, didn't even try, just went straight for the call saying, okay, it's too low, we can't make it just go for the kills. I think V3 played it the best they could considering what happened there. But the fact that Secret doesn't go down, and unfortunately, I think ended up baiting Dress Code a little bit into maybe turning around, looking for that last little bit of damage, ends up giving a huge lead over to Rascal Jesters now.
Yeah, that shockwave that came up from Yu-Gi-Oh! Really did a little bit of damage there. Not quite enough, though. And then Unica going in, seeing his moment, but falling just a little bit short. The damage coming out from Soul, just a bit too much for him to handle. And overall, like we were saying, you get the drag, but you do lose the 3-man there. 2 of those kills going into, one of the kills going into the hand of Soul, 1 into Secret, and 1 into Hachamecha. So that is a very even distribution of the gold.
Yep, and even more worrying now is Hachamecha is 6, right? This is when I expect Rascal Jesters to start playing a little bit more aggressively. Herald is up as well, so their top side of the map, if they want to play towards this, is a possibility here. Unica, though, undeterred for now. This is a little bit risky. Doesn't have Ghost to pop, doesn't need it though, able to disengage, and Hachamecha will just thank him for the leash.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is nice to see that they kind of try to respond that aggression with aggression themselves. They realize, we're a little behind right now. Let's try and kind of create some leads, try and invade this jungle. Not quite going to work out, but it's definitely a nice sight to see that they've got the right idea. They just need to execute a little better.
Yeah, I feel like I can almost hear Mass One in the back of my head going, copium. But no, I do agree. I think, the aggression is fine for now. And V3 aren't really that far behind here. The one place they're really struggling is this bot lane, where Soul has gotten a significant CS lead as well as the kill lead here. But if you aren't bringing Soul to the fight, if you aren't bringing Secret to the fight, then I think V3 are still okay. And elsewhere, top side of the map, they can still match. And I think the top side is where we need to watch for the next little while, because Herald is up on the play. We are seeing Secret already base and, you know, looking to come up and reinforce, get a bit of a numbers advantage. So there is a numbers inequality here where V3, they did not get their backs at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of top, I feel like I kind of remember the last time we mentioned Eno or Washidai. Really, they've just been chilling up top there, really just doing their own thing. Honestly, like it's just hitting me right now. Like, oh, she's already got boots. Both of them got boots already. They're looking good right now, and so nothing really been going up there in that top lane just yet. But that might just be soon to change if Washidai decides to take this fight. But I think, yeah, he knows better. Knows that Rift Herald just got taken and that Hachimecha is definitely close by. Hachimecha actually going to look for a bit of an invade, but is going to find nothing but an empty jungle. So maybe, oh, we'll find it. Actually, never mind. The camps did just spawn, actually. Maybe we'll grab that, and maybe we even see a dive. Going to have to wait and see. I doubt it, but you never know. Actually, we might just see a bit of an altercation here, unless Hachimecha just decides to dip. Unless I don't know. He can't quite make up his dude. Come on, man! Like he can't make up his mind here. There's a bit of a fight going down. Actually, the ultimate coming out. That's gonna be the stun. You are no longer immune.
There you go.
Washidai, there's that heartbreaker. The healing coming out is huge, but decided to go back in for a split second, and that will seal the deal. Down goes Washidai.
As easy as that looked, Echo, I feel like Rascal Jester were right with you in terms of do we do this? Do we not? Right? Like, they were so hesitant on the call, and I think it's because Rascal Jester has made the decision, hey, we're going to play to our bot side here, and so they were like, not quite sure. But the moment, you know, they go for it, I think they're now going to realize that, hey, if we can pop Washidai like this, we can continue coming back to this top side, right? Like this is actually highly gankable, and Unica was actually in the area, but just no vision, right? They don't know. All the vision for V3 has been concentrated on this bot side of the map, and so I feel like both teams, you know, been baited a little bit to that bot side to play for it, but Rascal Jester's are in a better position because their bot lane's winning, so Hachimecha doesn't have to come down here that often.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I just want to point out just that the ultimate that came out from Eno was huge as well, throwing Washidai out of the Hallowed Mist there, allowing Hachimecha to actually pull up with the Spectral Maul, hit that, get that stun, and get that extra damage in, which then allowed him to pretty much seal the deal with the Heartbreaker there. But now, next dragon is on the map. Definitely going to see a bit more of a scuffle this time around. Eno, Washidai both. Actually, no, Washidai only one with the TP up this time around. So maybe we see TP coming in. But okay, ward does go down. And actually, looking to send it here. The hook, the death charges are coming on Hachimecha. But I don't think that's really the move. Yeah, they can't really follow up, unfortunately. Secret pretty low. Soul, though, going to pop that ultimate as well. Secret getting lower and lower by the second. But it doesn't matter. Oh, there goes Unica. He is down. Featherstorm coming out. But Secret, he's so close to death. And he knows it can't overstep that boundary there of those feathers, and so it's gonna have to wait for those to disappear. Hachimecha as well, pretty low, is spotted by that control ward, but right now there's just not really much that V3 can do, and they know it.
No, and great play from Recap to push that out, because I think in that 1v1 between Soul and Dresscode right now, Dresscode has Gale Force, whereas Soul is just sitting on that Manamune, right? You don't have the same amount of damage, and unfortunately we're pre-14 minutes as well, so you can't just TP onto a ward. You've got to go to a turret. So this is a de facto 4v4, and you've seen the damage come out, right? So barely survives there. Great killer instinct to disengage. Anything else and the fight would have swung the other way. Soul would have been burst down, Secret would have been burst out, and Recap's just zoning and doing the bulk of that particular fight there. Buys them the space for Hachimecha to come back in, re-engage onto that dragon later to pick themselves up a Drake as well.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Yu-Gi-Oh! Right, doing a great job of also zoning out Hachimecha with the shockwave coming out. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough damage since the Hullbreaker already has been acquired, but it was still a good move to say. It's a little unfortunate just because V3 is just falling short so close. They're always so close to getting some of those first kills that they need to kind of get those openings and open those doors of opportunities that they need, but always just falling just a little bit short. But we're gonna have to see if they can somehow make a comeback.
Yeah, and I think part of that comes down to composition, right? We talked so much about how Rascal Jesters had to wait till level 6 before their burst starts to come online. Well, V3 needs to recognize that they need items, and now that Ludens is complete, Yu-Gi-Oh is going to hit a lot harder. But before this, that shockwave isn't actually going to do so much. It's more CC than anything else in the early game, and the damage of anything needs to come out of Unica, needs to come out of Dresscode, but they aren't picking the same targets. Unica and Dresscode were looking for Soul, whereas Yu-Gi-Oh was looking to just zone Hachimecha and Recap a little bit there. So yeah, it backfired a little bit for now. We'll have to see if that improves in the mid game. I don't know, because I feel like mid game has been where V3 has been the weakest so far, but I am open to seeing them change this.
Yeah, ultimate coming out from there, but Unleash Teleport is now online, so the map has opened up considerably for Washidai. Might be able to TP at some point and make a bit of a move here. We'll have to wait and see if anything comes out of that. Meanwhile, though, Yu-Gi-Oh is looking to move into this bot lane here. We've got the whole squad here. They're waiting to see if Soul is going to put himself in a rather bad position here, but it's not looking like it. I think he's kind of sniffing something out, and as well with this with Secret here. Yeah, he's like, something's not right here. let me just word that out real quick. Let me go first just to be safe.
Yeah, I think the moment Yu-Gi-Oh leaves lane, right? Like that's the call that, hey,
Solar Flare followed by the Zenith Blade actually will not connect though, because the Featherstorm does get popped. But I mean, that's an ulti down just for the Zenith Blade.
And Featherstorm actually has a very, very long cooldown as well. So definitely a huge win for the side of Rascal Jester, especially if they can look to repunish this bot lane now. Keep in mind, Dragon did just go down not too long ago, so it's not like V3 needs to fight anything here. They can just sit under turret, try and play it safe here. You have Cleanse as well, so theoretically the dive should be difficult for Rascal Jesters.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see if they can make something happen. Hachimecha, yeah, he was trying to play that long game, but nothing quite going to come out of it. Top lane, per usual, just a little farming going down. Nothing too crazy. Just doing his best to just slowly but surely kind of brittle down this turret as time goes on. It's getting lower and lower, and there's just not much that Washidai can do right now, especially with, being in that rage state, finally coming out of it. Maybe we see Washidai with the engage here. Looking for it. Snip doing a lot of damage, but really just trying to kind of poke him down.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Ino still has flash as well. And now that Hullbreaker is completed, Ino just gets to sit in that lane and shove all day. I think that's Ino's sweet spot for Rascal Jesters most of the time, is just weak side, and just apply pressure constantly. We complimented Ino on this play and not risking anything when they are playing to the bot side. So I feel like V3 should know that if Ino's playing this aggressively, there's backup nearby.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't see Ino moving in any day of the week unless his jungler is nearby. He was there. However, Unica was there as well to lend some assistance. It's going to spook Hachimecha off. Don't want to risk anything. That bot tier 1 will go down. That is the first turret down on the map. And this gold deficit is just getting larger and larger as time goes on.
Yeah, V3 needs to pull the trigger now. They've got the numbers advantage. Dress code left lane early, which is why we saw that turret go down. And yeah, they're trying to burn it here. Hex gates, though, means that Soul is going to get there real quick.
Yeah, Hachimecha looking to go in, trying to get some information on how low it is. Doesn't matter, though. It's going to get hit by the hook. It's going to get hit by the depth charges.
I know.
But yeah, it's just able to get out of there. And just like that, they have to relinquish control of the rivers. There's nothing they can do. Rascal Jester's like, hey, thanks for the leash.
Yeah, again, I feel like that's happened a couple of times where Unica started things up. And the thing is, I understand. I called for the same thing. You need to make that play, but they just don't have enough damage to burn it down. And in that particular play as well, I was watching Ino come in. Ino had no rage whatsoever. So that would have been a mini Gnar, and V3 just aren't confident enough that they can win fights. You just gave up Herald. Are you really going to fight a dragon?
Yeah, things are not looking good. I don't know if that was the move. Unica just barely escaping with his life. The TP coming up from Ino as well. That almost hit it. That would have been dangerous to say the least. And yeah, that's just another OBJ going into the hands of Rascal Jester here. It's like you were saying, V3 just, they're not confident in their abilities, and then when they do start to kind of feel confident, it's just not the best positions, like we saw with their Unica kind of trying to go in there. He sees Secret, thinks like, okay, we can catch him out here, and then the rest of Rascal Jester pulls up. He's like, you sure about that?
Yeah, and the problem too right now is that the tankiest member of Rascal Jester is Secret, unless I know it's a metaphor. So if you're thinking, oh, we caught Secret, think again, because the odds are, even if you do kill Secret, you burn everything.
Secret just caught you.
Yeah, pretty
Secret
much.
just caught you.
Yeah, Secret's just bait, man. Like you caught Secret, you caught the hook that Secret was concealing. So Rascal Jester's got you can't go in on this, right? And you need to start picking up priority targets a little bit here. They are on a power spike right now, so V3 do need to try and make the moves. I respect that they're trying to look for them, but around the objectives, okay, you couldn't win the numbers fight. Well, RJ is about to go back to a holding pattern. They're about to go back to their lanes. They're splitting up. Now's the time for you to look for something. Zaya's burst is very, very high. She can act as a pseudo assassin, especially at early points in the game with Gale Force. Combine that with Unica's burst. Yeah, you can burst down anybody right now on the map.
Yeah, and I feel like a lack of vision as well. It's just it's really kind of shooting V3 in the foot here. It's like because they have no idea half of the time where Hachimacha, where Eno is. While when you look on Rascal Jester's side, you see so many red wards down in the side of V3's jungle, right? So they know at all times where Unica is going to be. They know exactly where Yu-Gi-Oh is going to be. They know where Dress Code is going to be, and they're able to kind of just move accordingly.
Yeah, and Echo, I love that you bring that up because look at the trinkets for Rascal Jesters here. Do you see what I see?
Yeah, I do. And also, I might be seeing a dead Unica here if he's not careful. Just barely get out of that one. Oh, he's so low. No, the red buff burn will take him out. He is going to go down. Rest in peace.
Wait, was that red buff stolen away from Unica and then used to kill him?
It might have been. I want to swear it was. I know some burn killed him. That would definitely be the ultimate disrespect.
Yeah, because there's a red buff on Sol, and I know that they were fighting over that red buff that Unica was trying to take. So I actually think it did come from there. Oh, that's brutal to watch. And now you get to go for burn as well here. B3 knows it's being done, but you don't have an engage source, right? Your entirety of the engage was Unica. If Heto goes in, Heto dies immediately.
Yeah, and now Washidai trying to step up, but just nothing really they can get done there with Ino being in that rage form as well. Just can't quite push up to the plate here. They're just gonna have to buy themselves some more time somehow. And I mean, they're running out of time is the issue. Almost at a 9k gold deficit. Okay, I thought we were about to get a replay of the Baron. I was about to be very confused. Let's see if he stole it, actually. I'm curious.
Yeah, no, he already has a red buff, so.
Okay, yeah.
It went over to dress code. But so it was the red buff that ended up taking down Unica there.
Yeah. Dude,
just barely, man. The W doesn't even land. The Void Seeker didn't quite hit. And it's painful to watch. And Unica is probably kicking himself right now. It's worth noting, Unica is like the bulk of the deaths right now on B3. He has 3 deaths on the team. And it's because he's trying to make plays happen. But when you're behind, whoever's engaging is dying the most. That's why Heto also has the second most deaths right now. But besides from that, the carries aren't dying too much. Dress Code's only died once. That was in lane. Hugo hasn't died a single time. So there is still a chance for B3 to turn this. It's just a very, very slim one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also feel like we're kind of seeing another like a Burning Core rerun almost with Unica this time kind of being flawless, where once again it's like the jungler, like we see that Unica, right, he sees these opportunities and he tries to take them, and it's either he doesn't have any backup or he just bit the bait and now he's getting reeled in by the fisher. So it's like, you know, it's kind of like a lose for him right now. And I feel like that also is why he's making up such a large percentage of the deaths here.
A little bit, yeah, and it's just lack of damage, right? Even if they do have people there, it feels like they're still short a person just because they can't seem to kill anybody. They don't have enough burst to actually finish anybody off. And now Rascal Jesters, we're approaching that 23-minute mark that Maswan called for here, and they still have the burn buff. They're making really good use of it as well. I love the control they're exerting on the bot side. We're kind of trying to talk about the trinkets here. 5 red trinkets for Rascal Jester, and they are killing all the vision here. So V3 can't even effectively rotate between these 2 turrets here.
Yeah, and just look at, oh my god, Soul getting incredibly low. Will finally find themselves a kill here. That might be something they were looking for, but they're going to just answer by taking out Unica. Oh my god, the CC timer. It's just probably 10 years, nothing that Unica could do. Gets that kill, gets killed in return. Turret's going down. V3, just hold the line. Don't let Mast win, okay? At least if we do lose, at least his prime prediction will be correct. Just hold the line.
I don't know if they can. And with this Baron buff, the Baron power play, look at that, 3,000 gold here more once this turret falls.
Yeah.
It's just really, really well played from them. And that bot side inner turret went down as well. 2 minions while all of that was happening. We get the replay here. I think Unica overchased a little bit. This part was good. I think Hetel's instinct for knowing when to engage is actually really solid. Yes, he almost dies, but he gets the kill. You trade support for AD carry any day of the week, and then Unica just kind of dashed in blind. Yeah, you don't have vision. We talked about the fact that everything got cleared bot side.
Yeah, exactly. I almost feel like he didn't even need to dash. I feel like one more auto attack that would have come out from Dresco would have sealed the deal. But Unica just kind of like, he's seen this happen one too many times that someone from the side of Rascal Jester just barely gets out. He's like, not today. And then he gets taken out in return.
Yeah, and now V3, they're holding the line in their base here. And I've got to be honest, I've not seen V3 turn a single tide whenever they're back in their base this deep. So I'm getting real concerned here. Hetel's instinct for getting the pick is good, but it's only a single pick. And if Rascal Jester just decide to group up 4-1 here, they're not going to be able to punish Ino the same way, right? Washington doesn't have that burst. And if they ever see Hetel leaving that group of 4, RJ just dive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so much vision coming out. Once again, we see just constantly wards being cleared out here and wards being placed, and that's been just so huge for the side of Rascal Jester, knowing when they can make these moves and where to make them, while the side of V3 just hasn't been able to find anything. They find secret, but you just bit the bait once again, maybe. Gotta be careful. No way! The Void Seeker is gonna connect, take out Dress Code, and just like that, terror just befalls them. Hopping over the wall here, trying to zone them out so they can do some more damage to this tier 3 here. Not quite going to be able to get it though, but it's once again, they took the bait and they paid the price.
Yeah, Secret just not dying once again here. And on top of that too, I want to highlight the Dress Code still has Featherstorm and Flash.
Yeah.
They just weren't expecting, didn't see the Void Seeker seemingly come out of nowhere. Yeah. Hetzl again with a good hook.
Had to match it though. Oh, that was a very nice heartbreaker though. Canceling out the fear coming out from Unica's Onslaught of Shadows. That was huge. Is he going to decide to go in? Maybe.
Unica, don't die.
Oh, so much damage coming out from Soul though, but decided not to go in there. Meanwhile though, in that top lane, Recap facing off against Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah, Recap just he's gonna have a recap of his own, how he just decimated them.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have a big recap after this game here, but probably on V3 side more than Rascal Jesters. Yeah. Indeed, the mental actually from V3 doesn't look too bad. Hetzl is really good at landing all these hooks, right? Hetzel's almost single-handedly right now keeping V3 in the game, but it feels like it's too little too late here, and Rascal Jesters, they're just threatening. This is a 4v5 threat, by the way. Secret actually went back to base, and V3 still can't find anything in this 4v5.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like at this point they're just honestly scared to go in on anything, because every time they kind of go in, given most of the time they go in on Secret, which is also definitely an issue, but every time they go in, they always just end up kind of losing these exchanges, because next thing you know, yeah, here you see it, right? They get the hook on Secret. They're like, yo, we got this. Nice. This is an easy pick. And then it's like, yeah, no, sir. The rest of the squad is here. Dude, Dress Code was at like half HP, and Soul just like, yeah, goodbye. I'll see you in the fountain.
But the first half HP came from 2 Void Seekers. That was all it took to kill him. Soul landed the first one down to like half health. Second one killed you outright. And that's not even max range either. Okay, there's no Horizon focus here, so okay, maybe max range doesn't matter, but still, come on. Like the damage on that's pretty messed up right now.
God. Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to hit so you can see that 50% one-shot health thing again. That's just nuts.
That is absolutely nuts. I mean, you can even see Heddle, right? He's a good quarter of his health is gone just from one Void Seeker as well. Look at that. So much damage coming out already from Soul, and now Baron is back up on the map. Yeah, I mean, look at they know what's happening to this point. They're literally just zooming on it. Soul is just, I mean, he snatches souls at this point, bro. He's just tearing it up. He's hitting all of those Void Seekers. The Void Seekers are finding their targets, to say the least. Meanwhile, in that bot lane, he's hitting them with the thumbs up. He knows there's nothing Washidain, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dress Code can do. The rest of the gang are here. There's another Void Seeker following up. A very nice sidestep, though, by Dress Code. He does not want to be dealt that same hand as he's been dealt before. And overall, things are just not looking good for V3. Hold the line, V3. Oh my God, never mind. They will not be holding the line. Hold on to life at the very least, please. Dress Code, the only one standing right now, needs to defend base. 3 more seconds until Heddle is back up. But I don't think it's going to matter. Gonna try and get Eno here. They will get Eno. Heartbreaker coming out a bit soon there. The Nexus is exposed though. Just hit the Nexus. Just hit the Nexus, please. 5 seconds. Just hit the Nexus, please. You might lose this. The Minions, so the Minions are gonna do it, and they don't even need to hit it. And with that, Rascal Jesters with a dominating performance will take this game.
2803 Echo. Remember that for the desk, because I'm going to be rubbing it in Maswan's face here. That said, though, my goodness, this